Hi, this is Ryan at Clovis Star Media. It's the 4th of June 2017, and there is a new free speech rally going on in Portland, Oregon today. Trump supporters are out there, probably hundreds of them, and counter-protesters dressed up with, of course, the same old masks and weapons are there to counter the protest. In the videos I've been watching on the Oregonian, you're seeing bombs go off and other things. In the background, lots of, perpetrated violence. I'm not sure if there's any inflicted yet. Reports haven't came out. It's still going on as we speak. But I recently posted an update about the masked professor. They named him as Eric Michael Clanton. They've outed the guy. A month went by, a month and a half almost went by after 4chan outed the guy, and there was no arrest. And then on May 24th, they arrested the guy. So at least that has happened. I kind of doubt there's going to be much of it. Usually these, liberal elites, these professors and such, they typically get off with a slap on the wrist. I'm anxious to see what happens with the Bundy Ranch situation, to see if they get a major, assault on their rights for just trying to protect their land. That trial is still going on right now in Nevada. We'll see what happens. But, this guy, this masked Antifa college professor guy is, sitting there at this free speech event that he wasn't invited to. I mean, this was Trump supporters. This was free speech supporters. This wasn't for, violence or Antifa or anything like that. Then, he comes. He doesn't like what's being said. And while there's a guy, his name was Sean Stiles, sitting there in between the two sides, the Antifa and the Trump supporters, he's sitting there in between the two, trying to separate everybody and create a peaceful situation. And he's actually on his knees. He's kind of a big guy, so he's on his knees, pushing back on both sides. And then this coward, this masked man, comes up with a bike lock and crashes him on the head. As far as I could see, there was an instant crushing action because his eyes swelled up, as you can see in that picture right there. And instantly, within seconds, maybe a second and a half, blood was just gushing down his face. It was a pretty tragic smash on his head with that bike lock. And, I somehow think that this Clanton guy, this professor, an ethics professor nonetheless, is going to get a slap on the wrist, and the Bundys are probably going to get some time. And some of those people at the Nevada protest at the Bundy Ranch actually got 10 years or more. So it's, not a shot was fired, no one was harmed except for the protesters. The police beat the protesters. At the Bundy Ranch, they grabbed one lady, threw her on the ground, sick dogs on her. I mean, it was pretty intense. And she didn't even have a weapon. She wasn't hurting nobody, nothing. And the police, bashed her pretty good. So it's, double standard in this society. And I think people are sick of it. The silent majority, the people who elected Trump, the people who oppose these liberal ideologies, that won this last election, are tired of it. We're standing up. We're taking our country back, as far as I can see. Making America great again, as they say. And I wasn't a Trump supporter. I didn't vote for him. I said that he has too many ties with Hillary. I don't think we're going to get a better president out of him than we would maybe, Gary Johnson, Vermin Supreme for that matter. I was a Rand Paul supporter, but he dropped out early, but I definitely didn't support Trump. But after what he said at the EU, and after what he said about the Paris climate agreement, whatever that thing is, and all of the pushback he's doing on globalism, he's becoming one of my favorite presidents of all time. Now, I don't think he's going to be perfect. I'm sure there's going to be controversies. I'm sure he's going to do things that piss me off. I don't support the wall. The travel ban was a Barack Obama proposal. All 7 of those countries were proposed by Barack Obama. I don't agree with that either. I agree with serious vetting. I don't agree with the travel ban per se, but I agree with serious vetting, especially after the London attack we just saw. I mean, that just happened. And then Manchester just a couple weeks ago. Now there's not this big debate about, we need to solve gun violence, we need to put restrictions on gun ownership and blah, 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 because there was no gun used. There was a car and there was a knife. No gun. That's what I've always said, is guns don't kill people. People kill people. If someone's ready to commit a homicide, they're not going to be like, oh, well, I guess I'm foiled, I don't have a gun. No, they're going to go and get in a car. Cars kill more people than guns ever do. And if they want to murder somebody, why not use a car like they've been doing, or go to a Home Depot and grab some supplies and do what they did at Manchester. I mean, it's not hard, people, to come up with weapons. Guns, like you see in Switzerland, they have one of the lowest crime rates in the world, and every single household has an automatic firearm in their household. Every single house has a automatic rifle issued by the government, a SIG. And they have the lowest crime rate overall in the world. You look up Switzerland and their crime rates. Look up Switzerland and their gun ownership. Anyway, as I've been saying, I've had a troll that's very much like these Antifa people. You got the same kind of criminal record as these people do. You go in, you look at some of these people's criminal records, and you see they don't, do this toe-to-toe thing. They actually, mask up, or they, do these phone harassment things, or they do these, whatever. They hide their face, they hide their identity, and they don't take accountability for anything. If we all just got together and talked about things, like I do on these videos, if we just talked about these things, if we just got things off our chest, there'd be no need for the senseless violence. There'd be no need for these terrorist actions. You see her, she gets on this Luis Rosalma. She was at the April 15th rally where she, had a bottle in her hand and was filling them with explosives from many reports, but she was definitely swinging a bottle at people. And before she went out to this rally on April 15th in Berkeley, she said that she's going to go out and collect 100 Nazi scalps. And then she shows up, she's weaponized herself, she's got what looks like loaded gloves on, with metal knuckles, and she's got this bottle she's swinging at people. And everybody's pissed off because, this guy here hit her in the face. Well, she was using IUDs and throwing them at people, loading them up with explosives and then throwing bottles in the crowd to hurt people, possibly kill people. And everybody's sad that she got, punched in the face, or all these liberals are pissed off about it. Well, yeah, but why didn't she, just go in peace like she said on TV? She got on CBS and was telling CBS, I think it was CBS, it was a local news channel there. I believe it was in San Francisco Bay. Anyway, she got on local news. She's like, I never meant for this to happen. There wasn't supposed to be violence. I was just there in solidarity with my fellow protesters, and I can't believe this happened, and blah blah blah. And she didn't mention anything about how she had been posting on social media that she was going to collect 100 Nazi scalps. She didn't mention on CBS, on the local news station, that she went out there with weapons and was assaulting people. No, she just played the victim. Like, oh, poor me, I can't believe they attacked me. It's just like I said, I got this troll. I'll show you some of the articles I wrote on this. You can look up this on my website, Narcissism 101. If you go to opinions.clovistar.com/trolls, you'll see, my troll here has been doing this, I didn't even know, for like 12, 13 years. And it's a family member. But he's been going to people that I know, masking himself up with alternate names and, saying all these things that, are condescending or untrue about me, to defame me. And I didn't even know about it. And I moved to his town with my wife. We were trying to help his mother start a business. She's tired of her retail job, so we started a vaporizer store so that she could not only quit smoking but also have more income. And he was pissed off that we didn't invite him down to participate in the store, and so he starts this running his mouth thing again on the internet. And I paid his insurance. I gave him $300 when I got a little settlement for a car accident and stuff. I wasn't trying to exclude him completely. I just didn't want him at my store. And he's got a really bad reputation of just causing shit with people. So then he starts his mouth again and starts running his mouth on the internet. So I get on and I post a video, and my video was basically about Matthew 18. Regarding, you can see right here, Matthew 18, regarding, the unrepentant brother. Brother sins against you, what shall you do? And at the end, if he still won't repent, if he still won't apologize, then you take it to the church. But if he won't, hear the church, then let him be unto you as a heathen man or a publican, a politician. Treat him the same way he treats you. And so that's what I did. And I called him out, made a video. I'm like, hey, if you want to fight, you keep threatening me online. You want to fight? Come on down. I'm right here. I'm a mile down from your house. I'm in the same town as you. I'm right here. I'll rent the boxing ring. We'll go down to the local gym. We'll box it out. We'll call it good. Win or lose, we'll just get it over with, so we don't have to keep dealing with this shit. So then he sends his poppy, his stepdad down. His stepdad comes to my house, starts some shit, leaves with a bloody face, calls the cops. Oh, this guy, I can't believe all the mean stuff he says on the internet, blah, blah, blah. You need to put an end to it. He calls the police four times on me. Finally, they charged both of us with disorderly conduct. I obviously said I didn't want to press charges because I take care of my own shit. I don't need the police to do it for me. But he calls the cops 4 times on me. Says, oh, you need to take care of him. My charges were dropped. He pled guilty, whatever, life goes on. But I still get this guy trolling me. I still get this guy talking shit behind my back, playing this role of Antifa where he has to mask up and pretend, he's somebody else and do all this. Hell, I take care of my own shit. I don't need the police. I don't need stepdaddy. I don't need somebody else to intervene. I'll take care of it myself. But and that's why I've came out, and I've made some videos on this. But so I guess in some ways this is similar to what I've faced. These Antifa people, even though they're kind of a new group, I've seen this kind of stuff for a long time. I've seen these liberal trolls in my own family. I got a very liberal, progressive type of family. I'd say most of them are that way, from my gay cousin to my highly liberal brother who supports Bernie Sanders. And when I support things that are contrary to their beliefs, they come at me with all this stuff. And then they're like, oh, but he replied, he's such a meanie. Yeah, I replied. I'm not going to let you defame me. Of course I'm not. So when I finally figured out what this guy was doing behind my back, contacting people, because after I made my video calling him out to fight, people that are subscribed to me on my channel are like, oh, this guy's been writing me, man. I've heard some weird stuff from this guy. And he said all this shit about you. So I went and looked at his record. I never looked at his record before. I've known him, the whole time I've known my wife. And, I went and looked at his record. This guy has criminal history of making false accusations, phone harassment, terroristic threats, aggravated assault, restraining orders, on and on and on. Just, in the last 10 years, just recently. And so I was like, oh, okay, so this makes sense. This is just how this guy rolls. He doesn't take care of shit one-on-one. He doesn't handle his own business. He's a troll. That's what he does. So that's why I made this, Narcissism 101 post on my blog, to kind of illustrate, what the hell is going on. And that was before all this Antifa stuff. And then this Antifa stuff comes out, and it's almost the same exact thing that I've been dealing with a couple of my highly progressive liberal family members for years. I think conservatives have a little more balls. They'll own what they say. They'll actually go out there and say things that may be politically incorrect or may not be pop culture, but they'll own it. At least they'll use their own identities, and at least they'll come out and they'll own exactly what they feel to anybody. Not hide behind a mask. So at least that's why I have respect for conservatives. That's not the only reason why I support conservatives. I was a Rand Paul supporter, and before that I supported Ron Paul. I believe in free market principles. I believe in capitalism. I believe in liberty and the right to choose your own destiny. And I don't believe you should force anybody to pay for your lifestyle. So I don't believe in taxes. I believe taxes are theft, where the government forces you to do something against your will. But I do respect that conservatives have enough balls to say what they mean and mean what they say. Anyway, check us out at clovisstar.com. Take care of yourself. Peace out.